Saturday morning. Just take a breath, deep, slow breath. Connect with your heart. And know that you are unique. You're one of a kind. Number one of the most important things to know is that there's only one of you. One. And because of that, that makes you unique. So, being unique and allowing your uniqueness to show is important. Take a deep breath. And accept who you are. My grandfather used to say to me, Helene, you are a gross. And when I was a young child, I didn't understand what that meant. What he was trying to tell me was that you, at least that's what I'm seeing now, you are unique. Nobody is like you. So nobody's going to think like you. It's like you're on an island, or you are the island, and everything around you is flowing to and from. And being unique and being special is what all of you are. Somebody's not more special than the other. The difference is you sometimes see people that feel obliged or feel obligated, or they are better, or they are this and they are that. But reality is everyone is unique on the physical plane. And on the non-physical plane, we are all one. I'm going to start this Saturday by saying, I love you. Feel it in your heart. Feel the love flowing to you. I love you. And when you hear this and you feel the love, just take a deep breath and let it sink in. The second thing, first, you're unique. The second thing is, stand up for yourself, for your inner wishes, for your inner being, and dare stand for your beliefs. I always say that in the word belief is the word lie. So maybe belief is not the right way to do it. Maybe belief is not the right way to do it. Maybe stand in your knowing is the right way. And of course, there's no right or wrong way, because we are all interpreting this world differently, right? And by being unique, by standing up for you, you become empowered. And think back, if you are with someone that keeps ripping your heart out, go away. Standing up for yourself, loving yourself, knowing that you are unique, There is nothing that you can do with a person that does not understand the hurt that they cause you. Let them go. Because you would not hurt someone because when you hurt someone, you hurt yourself, right? This is the whole thing about being a unity, being united. When you're hurting someone, you're hurting yourself as well, right? And those ripple effects go out. When you love yourself and you love someone, the ripple effects go out. So there's a big difference in how this all is working, right? So today, because there are so many people that are being hurt during these days, I would like to take a card. I'd like to take a card for humanity. Because we need to understand or understand that humanity is each one of us. Ha. This is what the card is getting. It's called Cracked Open, Rock Bottom, Surrender to the Alchemy of Life. Is that where we have ended up? Surrender to the alchemy of life. Look at that. I see a woman cracking and the stars coming through her. Do you see that? Because universe, you are the universe. I'm going to read about it too. This oracle, I love this starseed oracle. It really has a beautiful way of explaining things, you know. Let's see here, Cosmic Heart, Cracked Open. Don't let the weight and density of the world squash your tender spirit. Instead, let it call even more of it home into your body. At the center front of your life, It's through the extreme pressures of life's trials that diamonds are cultivated. It's when things are at their darkest that we cultivate proper faith and our light is ignited. It's through the crumbling that we can allow our wounds to be alchemized. Let your pain, sorrow, and losses make you, not break you. Let life alchemize your tragedies into gold. Be open to being cracked open, wide open. It's the difficult times that help us grow in leaps and bounds, and in ways we could only dream were possible. But first, they have to crack us open. Sometimes it hurts like hell. It's nature's way. Whether you let it happen or not, it's going to happen. So surrender to the process. It's how the light gets in. And when your heart cracks open, a space is creating for your soul to more fully enter. When your soul cracks open, a space is created for the grace of the Holy Spirit to enter. Let your trials, your sorrows, your pains, your losses transform you into more and more of yourself. Stay open to the possibility that your tragedies, your losses, your sorrows, and your hurt happened for you, not to you. And bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Surrender to the alchemy of life. Again, cracked open. See the diamond inside? There you go. So if you feel your heart is hurting right now, or you feel that things that are unfair are happening to you, It is a way of shifting you there to where you need to be. You know, if life sends you a lot of difficulties, what you will do is you will open up to, okay, be aware of what it is that is being sent to you, and then open up to allowing for this beauty that is you to respond in a different way. Okay? So when your heart is open, you're more vulnerable. Okay? When you're more vulnerable, you reach into your feelings. And if there are things that come up that you don't understand or that you don't want to come up, maybe it's time to let it come up. Maybe it's time to say those things that you needed to say because they were hurtful or they hurt you. Or maybe it's time to talk to someone in a calm way and open up to forgiveness. So in the beginning we talked about the 3 habits that make you amazing, right? Or the 3 traits that make you amazing. It's about being the real you. It's about owning up to all parts of you. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Accepting all these parts and then loving all these parts. So yesterday we were talking about smiling. Try it with me. Smile. Don't sit like this. Smile. Something happens in your chemistry when you smile. Remember, whatever life throws at you, you have shoulders that are wide enough to go through it one step at a time. And if this helps you, Winston Churchill told his soldiers, his military, in World War II, he says, when going through hell, keep going. Because it is only temporary. Okay? I'm going to take another card because I'm going to look at what Osho has to say about the world. Look about what Osho has to say about what we're going through. Yesterday we had a lot of cards that were talking about being in a space of sadness, loneliness, and that's when I was telling you that nobody's ever lonely. Haha! They're saying being creative, creativity, and the 3, the Trinity. So I'm going to look at that because yesterday I finished a project that I've been working on for a long time. It was the project, it was my hot tub, my Hill Country hot tub. And this Hill Country hot tub has a feature that can be heated and cooled, and it goes on. It's just amazing. I just installed it yesterday, and I can't wait to use it. It's for my guests, but I'm going to use it when my guests are not here because that is going to be... It's down in my forest. Many of you maybe don't know that I have a fairy forest. But I have a fairy forest, and down in the forest I have a dome. And now I have a hot tub that is attached to the dome. So I'm so excited. I'm so happy about it. It's a dream come true, and I've been wanting to do this for such a long time. So yes, smiling, because I'm finally finished with that project. I have several more to go, but that one is done. So if there are any topics that you would like us to speak about, any topics that you feel that we need to do and that we need to speak about, please don't hesitate to come in and let me know in the comments below, right? And if you liked what you got today, please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notification. because that does help me send these messages out to the world, right? And if you joined in today and you're a little bit down on your luck, understand that it is only temporary. And that you, by loving yourself, by listening to your inner guidance, by opening your heart, by being vulnerable, you're open to change. That's what we're all going through right now. We're all going through a big change. And our change has a lot to do with our shifting in perspectives, right? So if we shift the perspectives, what happens? Well, everything starts changing. You see, we are empowered so much right now that our thoughts can change reality. But be careful of not thinking about the thoughts that are negative, because you will get more of those. I love the love, right? So as we think, we so create, right? And creating in the way that we're doing right now is not the effort. You know, sometimes when we're creating things, we're being effort. Oh, Bente, I was thinking about you today. You are such a lovely, lovely being. I love having you here. I was thinking about you today, especially, and I would like to speak to you, because we are fellow artists. I'm an artist myself. You're an amazing artist. There's a difference. But I'm an artist of spirit as well. So whatever comes through me is really through spirit. So I can't complain. But as we open our hearts for the world to accept this flow of beauty, this flow of energy, we're also opening up our hearts to allow for the change to happen. Oh, thank you. We're also here to open up for our hearts to allow for the change to happen, because, you know, many times we're scared of change, right? We're scared of, oh, what's it going to do? But what if the change that we're experiencing right now, because of course our Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, went through the photon light belt, right? We've already gone through that. And now the aftermath is coming. The aftermath has to do with we're opening up to more light into our bodies, more love into our bodies, more flow. We're becoming less dense. I don't know if some of you have noticed, but I'm not eating as much. I don't need as much. I'm out in the sun. I'm getting a lot of that in. But it's almost like when we are opening up our souls, our beings, to this beautiful light and love to come in, we are being sustained in a way that heightens our perspective, so that we open up for synchronicities, right? And when we open up for synchronicities, good stuff happens. But what I was going to say is, we can be scared of the change and hold on to the old, and or we can let go of the old and walk through the door and open up to the possibilities. Remember when you were a kid, when you walked outside, you had no idea what was going to happen, you had no idea who was going to be on the playground, or you had no idea, but you weren't even worried about it. You just were excited to be around, open, alive, walked outside, was excited, the sun is shining, let's go out and play. Now, I remember this in Denmark, because I'm from Denmark. The sun was not shining that often, so when the sun was shining, I was literally outside. But when the sun was not shining, I would open one eye and I would tell my grandfather, "Is the sun shining?" He says, "Well, somewhere beyond the clouds," he says. And I would then put the cover back on and fall asleep again. But yeah, that was my when the sun was out, I was out. I mean, that's why I'm living in Texas now, because the sun is out a lot. So I don't have these dark periods. I have a hard time with the dark periods. Okay. But again, open up your hearts, open up to change. But look at it as, wow, this change can be much, much better. I know some of us are going through things about the jab and things like that, and mandatory this and mandatory that. But I believe we are sovereign beings, so we cannot have anybody outside tell us what we want or what we will or we will not do. You always have a choice. But I want to get back to your multi-dimensional beings and the fact that when you open your heart to the flow, right? You open your heart to the flow of all beauty to come to you. And there's something that struck me the other day, and it was, I was listening to, I think it was some kind of YouTube channel. You know how it is, where we go through things. And they were talking about, when you die, that's it. And I looked at that and I'm like, that all depends upon what perspective you're looking at. Because for me, I do regression therapy. For me, when a person leaves the body, it's like you change your car. When a person leaves the body and goes up into the light, they always are who they are, right? So when you're not on the earthly plane being held down by a physical body, you still are you. That's the beauty. And when we come into a body, we forget that. But it is time to wake up to that part. We are multidimensional. And I can go even further and say we are living this life, this physical conscious life right now. But we're also living at least 12 other lives at the same time. I know that sounds funny because we think, well, there's past, present, and future. Well, really, in the 5D, there's only now. I think time was constructed in the 4th dimension. It was a way to linearly have our lives ordered in a way that we can understand in a physical sense, right? But when you're in the non-physical, you're absolutely out there creating. And that was the card that came today, creativity. For all you artists out there, go out and create. And you know what? We're all artists, really. Go out and do what you love to do, right? Go out and do what you love to do. Open your heart to the beauty. Open your heart to who you really are. No matter if somebody else does not acknowledge your heart, you do. That's the most important thing. That you take care of your heart. You take care of your being. So, and with all the beauty in the world, every single one of you is unique. And you have the beauty within and without. All depending on who's looking at you or how you see yourself. Do you see yourself with all the faults? And you see, when we get a little older, like myself, you start seeing these faults. And then one day I was looking at myself and like, you know what? I actually like the way I actually like who I have become. Because when I look at pictures from earlier, I'm like, oh, I went through this and this. I was beautiful, but I didn't know it. I was, it was all this. But now I'm looking back and I'm looking at those eyes. Those eyes have experienced a lot. This body has experienced a lot. This face has laughed a lot, but also cried a lot. So it has its traces in the face, in the soul. The soul has been here thousands and thousands of years. And many of you are coming here as star seeds, coming down here onto this planet to help it evolve its people. See, Mother Earth knows what she's doing. She doesn't really need us. We need her. So we need to open up to our awareness to what it is we're doing that will either help her heal, in other words, not throwing the plastic, not doing the plastic, not doing all these things, not cutting down the forests, etc., etc. But valuing her and prizing her and loving her. Because when we do that, we love ourselves too. And then we save our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, right? Anyway, that was my little Saturday love session, if you will. Okay. And just, if it's a little tough, just breathe in your heart, let your heart expand, see your heart expanding. So the card that we got today was cracked open, right? Cracked open. See the diamond inside of this being? Cracked open. And just allow your heart to shine, allow yourself to shine. You are the universe. I love you. Love and light.